Hello, friends. Hello. I haven't worn my Lady of Liberty hat in a while, so decided to just mix it up a little bit for you guys today. Hi, friends. Hello. This is attorney Marina Shepelsky, and we are doing this immigration news live. Hi, hello. Drop me a comment if you can hear me and see me well. And if you like my hat, do you like my headband today? I haven't worn it in a while. Let me know what you think. Just to cheer you up on this fall day. I don't know what weather you guys are having where you are. Here it's dark and dreary. It's very depressing in New Jersey where I am right now. And oh my God. Thank you so much. Alpha Omar says the crown looks good on me. Thank you so much. Meet says, okay, crown is better than hat, right? It's a better name for it, I think, right? Hello. So we're gonna talk about immigration news. We're gonna talk about the United States. We're gonna talk about your questions. So post in the comments. First of all, let me know where you guys are. Where are you watching me from? It's really cool for me to see all the places in the world where I can see you guys. And, it's a really good thing to see where I am being seen because, it's kind of weird when I sit here in my office at home. It's hard for me to like feel because it's the internet how far this internet thing reaches, this Instagram, if you're on Instagram or YouTube. And then I'm walking around and traveling, and sometimes people recognize me, believe it or not. And I'm not like a celebrity or anything, but the power of the internet is strong. Alpha says he's in Washington State. Hello. Celia says, Goddess, your turn. I love this crown. My husband thinks I'm insane when he sees me wearing this, and today we're both working from home. He's going to try to put me in the mental institution, but whatever, YOLO, as my kids say. You only live once, and if you can't have fun when you're doing it, when else you're going to do it? When you're dead? No. So let's talk about your questions. Let's talk about the news. Let me know if you like my crown, or if you have any questions about immigration, drop them in the comments. Obviously, I'm not doing this as an attorney. Anything I say is not legal advice, but I will answer your questions in very general terms and give you like good strategies and a good understanding of what's going to happen next in your case, what the process is like, and so on. Immigration news in U.S. Everybody is still talking about the debate between Trump and Kamala Harris. And, people are wondering what it will be like if Trump gets elected or if Kamala Harris is elected. A lot of news has been out there about his Project 25. I don't know if it's true. He said that he's not interested. Trump said he's not interested in this Project 25. We will see. I don't like to really wonder about things like that, but we do know that both Taylor Swift, she's a very famous singer in the United States, and another famous singer, Billie Eilish, and her brother came out and said they will vote for Kamala Harris and posted the link for young people to register to vote. Let's talk about voting in the United States. If you have a green card, you are not allowed to vote. You cannot vote as a permanent resident. It's illegal to vote if you don't have U.S. citizenship. You must be a citizen of United States to vote. They're not checking IDs or immigration status, but if you vote by accident, and I've had this in my practice, I had people who asked me for consultations with this situation. If you accidentally vote, it's a huge problem that you cannot overcome with pretty much anything, okay? If you vote, you're totally screwed. So if you're an immigrant and you're watching me, please never vote until you get the passport, until you become a US citizen. So that's important to say. But now that we're talking about this election and these singers, they're entertainers. You know, they're singing, they entertain people. They came out for Kamala Harris. I think Kamala Harris will probably be better for immigrants as a president. So I do, I do acknowledge that. And I think we're all hoping for more of kind of the thawing, the warmer climate for immigrants that we've seen during the Biden administration to be extended by 4 more years. But I don't know who can predict this election. Every day something new happens. And this weekend, if you've been following the news, was another assassination attempt to shoot President Trump at his golf course, and they stopped it, thank God. Why do I say thank God? Not because I love Trump so much, but I certainly think it's going to be terrible for our democracy, for our way of life, for our system, for our image, if something happens to the former president who is now a candidate for another election. It's just bad. We don't want to live in that kind of country that president candidates get shot. I don't want to live in that country, and you don't want to become citizens of that country. So I'm hoping that nothing will happen to him. If he loses, it's a fair fight. That's the only thing we want. Celia says, thank you for all the knowledge that you shared with us. I'm going to take the hat off because it bothers me now. All right, let's move on. Let's move on with the immigration news. The Economist, which is a pretty major publication, is saying that legal immigration to America has come back. It's rebounded. And they're saying that things are better now for legal immigration to US, and we're seeing an increase in people getting real visas, not going illegal, not crossing the border, but getting real visas, and that's really good news for everybody. Okay, let me go into my Instagram so I can start seeing your questions and your comments, and we can talk about them. From someone, from Tina. She says, hi, my husband filed for divorce and I have a 2-year conditional green card. My divorce is pending. Can I send in my 2-year conditional green card in for a 10-year green card with my pending divorce? Absolutely, yes. And you just have to file with something called a request for a waiver. So when you do your form, you have to do it yourself without your husband. You'd have to self-file for yourself, and you submit checking off that you have a request for waiver, requested based on good faith marriage and divorce. So give us a call. We definitely handle this. On Instagram, all of my contact information is in my profile. If you're watching me on YouTube or Facebook, my phone number is also, in addition to being in my profile, on the bottom of the screen. Hassan says, how long will the OPLA lawyers take to respond after we submitted a request for prosecutorial discretion PD in New York? My VAWA was approved. A few months. It's hard to say how long. Sometimes it's quick, sometimes it takes longer. A few months usually. Good morning, dear Marina, says Fatima on YouTube. Hope you're doing well. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit. I applied for my work authorization more than a year and a half ago through VAWA. It's still processing. Is it normal? If you filed for work authorization through VAWA, that will take as long as the VAWA takes. So the work authorization based on VAWA, that takes like 4 years, as long as it takes the VAWA to be approved. If your lawyer filed for a green card application and the work authorization application based not on the VAWA itself, but on the green card application they submitted with the VAWA, and those are two different That's like a different check mark you put on the application. The work authorization. Then that's going to come much quicker, and that's a long wait. It's too long, a year and a half. You should definitely be concerned. You got to find out from your lawyer or whoever did the VAWA for you how they filed it, based on the green card or based on the VAWA itself. Okay, MD063 says, good morning, Marina. Hello, hello. Hi, hi. Fatima says, also I filed the VAWA application myself. Oh, I see. You did it yourself. With all the evidence a year and a half ago, could you please check if I did it right or maybe something else I need to do? Definitely give us a call. Let's set up a consultation. We would probably start out with something called a FOIA request, unless you have a full copy of everything you filed. The FOIA would get me a copy of your entire file or whatever else also you had ever filed in the past, and whatever you did file with the VAWA, and that would help us understand what you should add and what you should change in your case. Alpha says, good morning. So I entered the US through the southern border and then I applied for asylum in February. I received my work permit. What's next? Well, it depends. It depends if you have a court hearing scheduled or not. It depends if you filed your I-589 with the court. If you had to, there's a lot of questions. So I would definitely do a consultation with us. Doesn't have to be me personally in our office. Our office has a really good group of lawyers, and we'll be happy to figure things out with you and tell you what to do next. Okay, but chances are you probably do have a court hearing in the future if you don't yet, and you should file your asylum application with USCIS and with the court, both. Okay, so let's see if I have more questions here. I'm gonna take a little sip of water. All right. I'm gonna load Instagram here so I can see the questions better. Fatima says, all right, sounds good. I'll give you a call. Thank you. Thank you. Another question is from D. It says, good morning. Is it okay to upload my documents to the NVC CAC portal for consular process, even though I had applied for the parole in place? I would probably still do it. I would probably do upload everything with the National Visa Center, because I'm not sure if this parole in place is actually going to go through and stay on the books. If it does, it's not hard to just close out your National Visa Center portal. Let them know you're going to be filing for adjustments in status inside US, not consulate. It's not going to be hard. But if you miss this time, you might not get a chance later and lose time. So yeah, why not? Upload whatever they need. Um, Okay, so let's move on and let's talk about more news, because I'm waiting for more questions from you guys to show up. And let's talk about what else is out there in the news. Um, oh, yesterday was Constitution Day and Citizenship Day as part of Constitution. USCIS celebrated, we all celebrated. The US Constitution was a very important thing that happened in 1787. And since 1940, we are celebrating this day as I am an American Day. Also, as part of that, citizenship. This is really good because it reminds us that this country was founded by immigrants, by people who came here originally from England, but also from France, Spain, and other parts of the world. They made it their own. This is a country of immigrants. This is a country where we welcome newcomers. We say, come become part of this as long as you're doing it legally. And this is where the lawyers like myself will come in and help you guys figure it out legally. So this is a really great day for everyone. Check out my blog. I wrote about this on my website, shepelskylaw.com. And you can also just explore. I blog almost like every day. We post 1, 2, sometimes 3 times a week. But interesting things, if you like to read, this is a different format. This is where you guys are listening and watching. But if you like to read, I post a lot on my blog. I'm always right. Most of them are written personally by me. If you're interested to read what I write, and it's really cool, check it out. Boundless Immigration also released interesting information about the status of U.S. visa services across the world by country for September 2024. And we're seeing that different things are going on in different countries. Obviously, we're having Ukraine and Israel right now. Everybody else is trying to catch up with the long waits that really started during the pandemic, and everybody has been catching up. Um, some countries have more than one embassy, so it's good to find out where you're going to be interviewing if you're planning an interview there. Let's see what happened. So now October 2024 visa bulletin has been released, right? And it's important because we'll see changes in October across the family and employment-based categories. Finally, the 1 month change movement for all countries in the F2A, this is spouses and children of green card holders category, and 4 to 6 month change for all countries in the EB2 category. Finally, the second employment category is moving. However, there is the 7 month and 2 week retrogression going back for China in the EB3 category. All right. So that's kind of bad. Not really excited about that, but everything else is good. So if you are waiting in line for like a spouse or child of green card holder, there's good news. All right. Another question here from Silva. Oh, okay. Attorney Marina, they scheduled my marriage green card interview this coming September 25th. I didn't expect an officer called me yesterday trying to schedule my interview for today at 1 p.m. That happens. Sometimes they have a window and they try to like move their schedule around. And that happens. Andrew says, after VAWA approved and you get a green card, when can you apply for citizenship? After 3 years or 5 years? My wife was a green card holder. 5 years if your spouse was a green card holder. So VAWA does give the opportunity to people who are married to a U.S. citizen, only to U.S. citizen, to file after 3 years. But if your spouse was not a U.S. citizen, they were a green card holder, then it's 5 years for you like everyone else. Okay. MD 063 says, good morning, Marina. My 95-year-old dad is the sponsor for his wife. She's 55 years old and she just got her 10-year visa and left my dad. Wow. I'm so sorry. More from MD. He says he's a sick man and needs her care. Please need some guidance to be greatly appreciated. Honestly, I'm not sure what you can do. She got her 10-year green card, it sounds like, and left him. I don't know what to say. This is sad. I'm sorry, but legally, I don't know what you could do with that. Celia says, I said I'm not ready yet. Oh, yeah, for the interview. They tried to schedule you for short notice. Is it going to be a problem at the interview next week? No, it should be fine. It's understandable if somebody calls you to come in the same day, you're not prepared. It's crazy that they even tried. George Hamilton says, hi, my husband filed the 9130 for me. I live outside of the U.S. What evidence do I need for the marriage-based green card? Secondly, I have a 20-year-old child who is on the beneficiary list. So Your child probably will be a much longer process than you. In terms of how to prove your marriage, you should collect any type of communication document between you. Like if he sends you money, if you email each other, if you should visit with each other, you should have pictures of your visits together. If you have a bank account together, if you have other documents set up in two names, that's the kind of evidence they're looking for, and photographs. So that's going to be important to see. Okay. No more questions on Instagram for now. Let's continue with YouTube and Facebook questions. How about if they're the process of receiving it? If they don't have the green card yet for your spouse of your dad with a big age difference, then he could still probably withdraw the petition and say that she left him. You would have to help him with that. But if she's got it already, there's not much you can do. Uh, okay, let's continue with the news. I still have some time, so let's talk about the news. Um, the Customs and Border Enforcement people, CBP, released their monthly update for the month of August, because when it's September, they released the August report. And let's see. So they're saying, as far as the CBP One app, this is the application, the computer and phone application where people are filing for asylum through their phones. They're saying it's still available, everything is working. They have a web page. The parole process for Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela is in place, where basically if you have an I-130 family petition, a lot of people are receiving letters that they can come to US with parole and wait here in the States. But there was some fraud with this program, and I know they had stopped it because of fraud for a while. And they're saying more than 11,000 Cubans, nearly 214,000 Haitians, more than 96,000 Nicaraguans, and nearly 121,000 Venezuelans were checked and authorized for travel, and more than 110,000 Cubans, and then 210,000 Haitians, nearly 93,000 Nicaraguans, and nearly 170,000 Venezuelans already arrived and got parole lawful. Okay, so since they started this process, encounters of these nationalities between ports of entries are down by 99%. People are following the rules and coming in legally, hopefully. So that's what's going on. Let's see if there's more questions. MD wants to know if there's a specific form to withdraw the petition for dad. You just write a letter. You don't need a form. You write a letter and say, I think this was fraudulent. I don't think my from your dad. I don't think my wife intended to be with me for family and to take care of me. She used me for a green card, sign, date, attach a copy of the receipts, so they can actually track down who it is, what case it is you're talking about. You want to attach a copy of the latest receipt, probably the I-751 petition. Ah! I kicked the camera on the phone. Sorry about that. And you want to, have his name, his address, his phone number, all of that information in the letter, and a copy of his ID. So that should be enough. Joyce Adoka says, a friend of mine just got his VAWA petition approved and has his green card now. Can he remarry his former wife from the previous marriage and file for her? I wouldn't do this until he becomes a citizen, because just the way they gave him his green card, they might take it back if they suspect it's fraud, and it looks like fraud to me, even though I'm not, aware of anything. But when somebody, the minute they get their VAWA green card through supposedly the abusive marriage with the second spouse, with their own green card, they go back and file for the initial spouse. It smells like immigration fraud. So unless he becomes a citizen, I wouldn't start down this road. I really would not. MD says, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. If you're watching this and you like what you're seeing, you want to help me out, I really would appreciate if you leave our firm a good review on our Google page. So um, I'm gonna post it for my Facebook and YouTube viewers. So you can just click on the link and leave us a good review. Because we had a couple of people who like attacked us, but and left bad reviews. And unfortunately, those are like coming in as the latest reviews, and it's really hurting us right now. And it's so unfair. I want to cry, but the thing is, we get so many people approved, and they don't want to leave any review. They don't want to put anything on the internet with their name. And then people that actually, like, it's not our fault, something happened that's not even what they're writing about, or they never even worked with us, like bots, those reviews are visible. So please, I posted our review here link. Basically, just click on the link and leave a good review and say, I watched Marina's show. I really like her information. It would be a good decision to use this on. That's it. Like, that's all you should. Um, so this is for MD who says thank you and I greatly appreciate you. I appreciate you. It would be wonderful, please, if you could leave me a great review. Okay. El Copa LLC says asylum interview done more than 2 years. And by the way, I'm going to post this on Instagram too. So if you're watching on Instagram, the link should appear in the comments. So just click on it and leave it a review. Okay. Back to your question, El Copa. Asylum interview done more than 2 years ago, and I still haven't received my decision. What can I do? So I think that you should call and write them. And if nothing happens, you have a right to file for a writ of mandamus, a federal court lawsuit. That they're not doing their job. It's been more than 2 years and you still don't have a decision. This is bad. Joy says if my aunt applied for asylum now and she's lived in the U.S. more than 10 years, what will happen? Will she get cancellation of removal? She could get cancellation of removal, Joyce, if she has the right U.S. citizen or green card holder relative. Like if your aunt's parents are citizens and they're elderly, that works. If she's got kids born here, for them, she could get cancellation of removal. That would work. Otherwise, cancellation of removal, it is not for everyone. It's only for those people who have a U.S. citizen, spouse, child, or parent, or green card holder, spouse, child, or parent in the U.S. who would experience hardship. Okay. Um, all right. I think that this is all I plan to do today. Thank you all again for watching. Thank you so, so much. Please go to our link for reviews and leave us a good review. I really appreciate you watching. I love you guys. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for watching every week. I will see you next week. I'll try to collect more news, more good information for you, and explain things as we always do in a good, clear way so you understand how the U.S. immigration laws work. Take care. See you next week. Bye bye.